All right, well, credit cards are the first and most important thing that I wanted you guys to learn in this section. The next thing is what happens if you get a loan. This is a very sophisticated formula, more difficult than any formula we've seen thus far in this chapter. So let's take a second and let's look at it. When would we use this formula? This formula is going to be used anytime you loan money. So the majority of things that we've been doing for compound interest has been, let's put $20,000 in an account and see what it is in 10 years. Or if I want $30,000 in 10 years, how much money do I need to put into an account now using compound interest? Those are single lump sum payments, putting $20,000 into an account, not touching it. That's not realistic. When most people want to buy something or save up for something, they don't have $20,000 lump sum to put into an account. They have to make payments throughout time. So this formula right here is what if you want to make payments. So A here, PMT stands for the payments. That's going to be your payments based on whatever your compounding period is. Almost always your compounding period is going to be monthly, so your payments are going to be monthly. You can see other compounding periods like quarterly, so your payments would be quarterly if that's the case. But hey, A here is always the loan amount. And I want to specify that this is the loan amount. This doesn't necessarily mean it's the actual price of the object. For instance, if you want to buy a $10,000 car, you might have to put $2,000 as a down payment. So you would only owe the $8,000 remaining. 10,000 minus 2,000 is 8,000. The loan amount would be 8,000. You would be plugging in the 8,000 into this formula, the loan amount, not 10,000, which is the actual price of the car. Always the loan amount here for A. R is your interest rate as a decimal, N is your compounding periods, T is your time in terms of years. Nothing has changed in that. I do also want to emphasize in this formula, this is a negative sign in the exponent. Do not use the subtraction symbol. Make sure you use the negative sign. So this is the formula, PMT equals A times the quantity R over N, all over 1 minus, in parentheses, 1 plus R over N, raised to the negative NT. Yes, it is a mouthful. Yes, it is a pain, but it's really truly no different, just extra buttons to push onto our calculator. So what I showed you next is exactly what buttons you should put in your calculator and the TI-30XS to get the actual answer. Remember, you're plugging in the values for A, R, N, and T with this. Make sure you write this down. Make sure you practice. Don't look at just what I'm getting. I want to make sure you can get the same answers as well. So let's do the first example, example 3 together. It says, Integrated Technologies is offering anyone who purchases a refrigerator an annual interest rate of 9.5% for 4 years. If Andrea Smyer purchases a luxury model refrigerator for $5,995 from Integrated Technology, find her monthly payments. So let's go through this and see what we're going to use. Well, it's a monthly payment. It's multiple payments, so we're going to use this new formula, PMT equals A times R over N, all over 1 minus, and then we have 1 plus R over N to the negative NT. If we use a formula, we write the formula. Let's identify our variables. 9.5%, that tells me that R is 0.095. 4 years, that gives me T right there. $5,995. There was no down payments or anything, so that's going to be my loan amount right there, A. And then it's monthly payments. That tells me what my compounding period is, and is going to be 12. I know my variables. I know my formula. Let's go ahead and plug it in. I'd have PMT equals that loan amount, $5,995, times R, which is the 0.095, divided by N, which is 12, all over 1 minus, in parentheses, 1 plus R, which is that 0.095, divided by N, which is the 12, raised to the negative N, which is 12, times T, which is 4. So this is what it looks like on paper. Let's make sure we know how to plug it into the calculator. We're going to use that formula on top, or the buttons that I showed to push on top. And I actually already did it for you and took a screenshot of my calculator showing you exactly what it looked like when I plugged it in, exactly what buttons I pushed. Once you put enter, let's see what you guys get, see if you got the same thing. When it's a payment, we are going to round to the nearest cent. My payment, I ended up getting $150.61. For this class again, we are going to round to the nearest cent no matter what, but I do want to discuss real quick, looking at it, what would have happened in the real world. Do you see how this is 61.3? That 3 tells us to round down to 61 cents. In the real world, no matter what that decimal is after the 1, as long as it's not a 0, they would have rounded up. So in the real world, they would have said it was $150.62. Anytime you owe them money, they always round up. Anytime they owe you money, they always round down. It's really crappy that's how the real world works, but it is. For this class, just round normal. I'll give you credit as long as you round normal every single time. So your monthly payment on that device is $150.61. I want you to see something real quick. It's not really part of this problem, but I want you to see what's going on here. Why would this company want to loan me money? Well, remember the price of this refrigerator was supposed to be $5,995. This is not part of the problem. I'm just asking you to extend it. How much money did you really pay for this fridge? Well, to calculate the total amount that we paid, what we're going to look at is we're going to look at our payments times the number per year, which is N, for the number of years. So in this case, we paid $150.61 every single time. We paid that 12 times a year, every single month, for 4 years. Let's go ahead and see what that total is that I ended up paying for that fridge over those 4-year period of time. I'm getting a total of $7,277.28. That's the total amount that I actually paid for it. So how much did I pay in interest? Take that number, the 7,277.828, what I actually paid, minus what it should have cost, which was $5,995. So the amount that I paid in interest on this was $1,282.28. Wow. That's a significant portion of the price of that fridge. So again, the entire problem was just the whole point of the problem. What the answer is $150.61. I just asked you to extend that problem to think of why would we have done that? How much did we actually pay for that fridge? Why would have they given us a loan? Well, because they made over $1,000 off of us. So be very careful when you get in a loan to realize how much are you truly paying for that item. Would it have been better to save up for a year and bought that item cash so you paid $0 interest?